me.
That's it for that quick shot. For the next one, the last one we have is Gearbox, right? So, they had their presentation for E3. And, yeah, so let's move on to the main. No,
let's get off that.
Gearbox it didn't really have much going on for it. I mean, they showed us Tiny Tina, which was some shit we'd already seen before. It was the exact same trailer we'd already seen, the same info. They showed us a couple of other games. What was it? Homeworld 3?
Yeah, they
showed
referring back to Homeworld 3. They do this little glibbit of a guy.
Yeah.
We are finally producing Homeworld 3, and then they would cut away from it. Like one sentence, and they would cut away from it, and they go back to him talking to the cast and directors of Borderlands. Yeah. And then he might, keep talking about how excited they are for Borderlands and more Borderlands movie.
Yeah.
And then they would show them a little clip of Homeworld 3. This is the greatest, RTS ever made. Homeworld 3 in production. And
is RTS Return to Sender?
No, it's real-time strategy.
Oh, okay.
like a StarCraft game.
Okay. All right, I got you.
But that was largely all it was, and then a rehash of trailers we've seen already that were all shown in the Games Fest.
And then they showed us that they were going to be putting Godfall on the PS4.
Big deal, dude. Big effing deal.
I didn't even want to play that shit on the PS5.
I know you have a PS5 to play it on. You don't want to play it.
Oh, yeah.
That game is very mediocre. Because I played it. That was my first game I played on my PS5, and it was very mediocre. Yeah. It wasn't horrendous, but it was very mediocre.
That was one of the ones you were looking forward to playing, too.
Yeah, I was looking forward to playing that. It just, if the controls weren't good enough, if the controls were a little more tight and enjoyable, I probably would have had a lot more fun with that game.
Yeah, I feel like we probably would have enjoyed it and maybe recommended it to you guys if it was given to us for free. But because it wasn't, we had actual real opinions, and therefore...
Yeah, exactly. So that's them clearly trying to recoup some losses.
Yeah. For me... I told you guys before I wanted to hear more about that Marvel XCOM.
I know we didn't hear.
Yeah, we did not get it.
The Tiny Tina was good, but we already seen it. That game looks very promising.
Absolutely.
But like I said, we saw it the last week.
Absolutely.
So
it's essentially like playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? But on the console.
I mean, they made some hints to it, like the roll for initiative. So maybe there's going to be some D&D aspects to it. But for me, it's just it's a fantasy Borderlands, because there's guns.
It's a live action. I don't think it's going to be pause and roll. It's going to be...
Well, I felt, I didn't think it would be actual board game, but I feel like it would be making all kinds of things would be happening as if you're rolling the dice or something like that,
Maybe. I don't know how they incorporate it, but I looked at it as a Borderlands Skyrim or Borderlands Fallout.
Yeah, because they said that that Tiny Tina was going to be I forgot, they said DM or
She's
GM or something like that.
She's not a playable character. She's which is what we assumed when we were first talking about it. How we didn't know. A character. Yeah. She'd be like a handsome Jack, kind of like the person behind the scenes pushing the narrative forward, but not necessarily someone you play, and that's what she is.
Yeah, it almost sounded as if it was going to be an aspect how Immortal was. You know how the guy narrates the situation, and then he decides, and something pops up, and then and shit pops up. Yeah. So it seemed as if you'd be playing in this Dungeons and Dragons type of a game or whatever, and the dungeon master is making all this stuff happen. As if you'd be I'm gonna move 4 steps. I rolled this dice and then I got a hit or something.
I think it's gonna be live though. I think it's gonna be free roam.
Right. I don't think that our rolling the dice aspect, but there's gonna be a dungeon master talking as if as we imagine playing Dungeons and Dragons, you walk down a corridor, 3 monsters pop up. Tiny Tina is saying that as you're doing that, or whatever. But I don't know. That's what I kind of saw that it looked like it was going the way they were explaining it. But
that'd be interesting. As long as she's not
I want to see more
throughout the whole entire freaking game, just at certain moments would be cool.
Yeah, I think anytime that shit's about to happen, I think she would be talking. Yeah. But
that was pretty much it, man. That's about all Gearbox offered.
Pretty piss poor, man. Yeah. I was hoping for something a little bit more. You know what I mean? I was hoping to get something.
I know you wanted to watch that live with all of us.
Yeah, we were trying to do a live reaction of that.
I was expecting them to expand on what they showed at the Game Fest. Mm-hmm. From Tiny Tina. I thought we were going to get some gameplay, some real
a full, a cool 30, 40 minutes of talking about it and maybe 10 a gameplay or something.
Not just, the same identical trailer that we just saw. I don't know.
And then telling us about the Borderlands movie.
Yeah, but
it was just a trailer for Borderlands movie.
Yeah. But to me, on a high point, the Tribes of Midgard, that came out of nowhere.
That was at Summer Game Fest too, though.
Oh, that's right.
They showed that at the end of Summer Game Fest as well. But Tribe of Midgard does look fun.
Yeah, it's 10 player co-op, which that's awesome. You know, it's like, you know, we're gonna get Diablo 2 later on in the year. That's 8 players. So I'm like, that's cool. ARPGs when there's more than like 4 players, it makes it way more intense and fun.
Yeah.
So this game looks promising to me.
It does.
And you know, it's something I didn't envision them releasing something like this.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think that's probably their best game that they've shown, other than Tiny Tina.
Yeah.
I love you,